Hello, my name's Poppy and I was the producer for Festive Fringe. This is my interview and my thoughts and opinions. The event was a fundraiser for a trust for young homeless people. We basically ran a couple of, say, workshops type thing. We had an arts crafts table, we had photographs taken, and we had musicians and like a little dance piece, and yeah.
And who was the audience? Who was coming?
The audience was aimed for the young rep and friends of BOA, parents, the general public.
How many people actually came?
So about 200.
It's quite a big audience, wasn't it?
Good, yeah. I've had feedback from different members. I've had feedback from the public, staff and members of the group, and it's interesting to see how their opinions changed when looking at it from a different viewpoint. A week after the performance, I collected in all my feedback and I came to the conclusion of where I could improve. For example, in some of my feedback it said that I should have focused on one thing more, so instead of having an overview of the whole thing, so I can, on the day. What I've learnt about leadership, it's been quite challenging. I've learnt a lot, but I've also found bits hard because I didn't want to be too forceful and force my opinions across some people and them not appreciate it. So, but when I tried to step back a little, I wasn't involved enough. So I think in the future I need to find a healthy balance between the two. What went well is that we had a great turnout, so over 200 people. There was no major technical difficulties. There was a little bit, but we managed to sort it out. If it managed to run a schedule, if there's any problems, we helped each other to sort out. We came together. All the young people seemed to enjoy it. There was no harsh criticisms. The juggling centre went down a treat. And this was a storyboard which two of the members of the ArtsAward took charge of in the leadership skills, and basically what happened is if people came in, they could write down a piece of story, and when they came back down they could see how much it's changed and see how it's developed.
What do you do differently?
I think when we've taken on so much of a role, because in theatre you have a stage manager and a deputy stage manager, and I was doing the job of two. I think I would have delegated some parts to someone else, so I wouldn't have so much to do, so I could have focused on my roles a bit more in depth. And then I work with members of the team to make sure that artistically there's enough going on, because there was certain things that we wanted to happen, like we had a flash mob booked, but unfortunately that didn't come off because there wasn't enough people willing to participate. We had to come to terms with the limitations of the space. We couldn't have too much going on, and we didn't want to have something that no one would find interesting. So we wanted to make sure that everything fit in with the ethos of the whole fest. Communication, I've learned, without communication the play couldn't really go on. It couldn't have been a success that it really was. In preparation for, well, what we had to do is basically had to draw up contact sheets, had to chase people around, find where they were, speak to them face to face, find out what their ideas were and how they're feeling about the whole thing. See if they.
What do you think they would say about your communication skills? Do you think they enjoyed working with you?
I thought that they enjoyed working with me because I was pleasant, and if they had a problem I was happy to sort it out for them and be willing to participate. Positive things I said were that I was easy to talk to, inspired them, and I cleaned up afterwards, and was willing to help and was welcoming to problems and willing to sort them out. More notes, handing people more handouts so they know what's going on, more being more prepared for situations to go wrong.
What did you feel at the end of the day? Because it was a long day. What were you just sort of feeling then?
I was feeling relieved that nothing really serious went wrong. There was no major technical difficulties, or there was no serious health problems or safety issues that went down. So I was feeling happy at how good it went. I enjoyed the meetings and making everything happen and finding out people's opinions and views on how the thing should go and seeing how artistic they are. On the day, I like seeing the people's reactions and the expressions on their faces when they saw what we've done. I also felt good about raising a lot of money for St Basil's charity, which is a charity for young homeless people, which has a link to BOA.